Welcome back, everyone, to the stream. This is one of the games that people have been recommending to me to do on the stream. So, this is No One Has to Die. It's a very short game. Yes, finally VLR. Yes, it is basically VLR. It's a tree of story segments. Whichever story segment we get to depends on the choice we makes previously. So you can see that at the top is 4 people. And depending on the choices we make will affect, I keep getting my words all wrong tonight. It will affect on which of these we get down to. And then maybe we should get to all of them, who can say? But we start off by clicking at the top. It's text-based, by the way. It is some pretty intense music, as there are tense happenings going on at this company. There's a fire. So we are in the Phoenix Corporation, logged onto this network, and we're IMing each other. The CEO of the corporation says that everyone has to evacuate. The visitor, by the way, is us. We found the security staff dead, and we logged into the system. Uh-oh. Troy apparently killed the security staff and lit the fire, so it looks like we have our antagonist. Troy telling us the security code that we can use to access the system. Why would he do that? So the computer, this is basically how the game works. The computer will determine if it's unavoidable for someone to die by fire, for someone to be killed. So either Troy or Steve is going to have to die. You'll get an idea of why when we actually go look at the floor plan. Alright. So, as I said, this game is about choices and about the paths we'll take when making choices. It said either Steve or Troy will die. So you get to decide. Number 1 is Steve, number 2 is Troy. The game is called No One Has to Die, but you don't get that option, chat. Someone has to die. Either Steve or Troy. Why is that? Well, here's Troy up here. Steve is down here. The fire is right here. We can lock a door. However, we can only lock one. Why can we lock one? Because we only have one security code. And apparently we need more than one security code to lock more than one door. No, I don't really understand that either. Now, she doesn't have to die because the CEO is right here and he can turn on the water to save her. But the water will not reach the fire before it kills either Steve or Troy. You're voting on who is going to live. Who do we rescue, Steve or Troy? It looks like most of you are saying it's going to be number 2. Or were some of you not aware of that? You thought you were voting for who dies? Okay. In that case, we'll just restart that. So number 1 is rescuing Steve, number 2 is rescuing Troy. So you see the idea, we have to make... This is our moral quandary, which are very popular in video games nowadays. Moral decisions. And it's pretty split right now on who gets to live and die. Though, there is a slight lead. No, you can't vote for 3 and 4. You cannot do that. There's a slight lead on number 2, on Troy. Troy did start the fire and killed the guards. He does appear to be the villain. But it looks like most of you, not most of you, slightly most of you, want to save Troy. It's almost tied up, though, so we're going to do this. 3, 2, 1. And yes, Troy won. Troy gets to live. So, let's see. I can lock that door. But like I said, I cannot lock both doors. I can move the CEO up to the water. And I can turn the water on. There's the water. Oh, the fire's spreading. I now have to turn the water off, otherwise the water will kill her. But these two, the water will not reach them. And as you can see, the fire is burning through Steve's door. But Troy is saved by the locked door. What if we wanted both candidates to die? The computer does not allow that. It makes us, it resets and makes us choose one. How does locking a door stop fire anyway? Good question. So now Steve is dead. And we won. Well, we didn't win. We beat the first level, but it's not really winning. Troy seems confused as to why we would save him. Christina is angry. We give our reasons. Troy knew the security code. Obviously, he seems to know something about what's going on, so we need him to survive. And Lionel, the CEO, seems to think that this is clever. It's a good idea. Troy is not interested in saving anyone or helping anyone else. Why does the CEO not know the security codes? Well, it's common practice, security practice, for the codes to be changed quite frequently. So it's not like it's something you could just memorize. They probably get changed every week. So that's how Troy knew the security code. He was on the security guards when he killed them. Christina a bit confused about what's going on in this company. It seemed like they work here. Yes, like we said, they work here. Should they not know what this company does? It buys and sells things. Surely there must be more than that. And people saying that this seems pretty 999. Yeah, it is very much an abridged 999, I guess you could say. Basically trying to get the experience of 999 maybe in just one sitting. Now, how does Troy know the name of Christina's mother? Uh-oh, it turns out the computer says one casualty is unavoidable. So chat, time for you to make the hard decisions once again. Number 1, save Christina. Number 2, save Troy. Troy knows everything. He's behind all of this. Christina does not think that this is good enough. But Troy wants to die for some reason, though we don't know why this is. Okay, well, chat, it looks like you are just heartless, aren't you? Cold-blooded, chat! Voting to save Troy just because he knows what's going on. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna save Troy. So Christina, left to die. And once again, no, we cannot kill both. The computer will not let us do that. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna lock Troy's door. Now, here's the CEO. He's out. We can't lock his door because we locked Troy's. The fire is gonna be coming, but we can switch the water on. Okay. Now we have to turn the water off. Christina's dead. We have to turn the water off so it does not kill the CEO. If the CEO dies, then again, the level resets. Because he does not have to die, and the computer knows that. Yeah, so long, Christina, I guess. Troy's quite upset. He does not know why we keep saving him. Lionel seems okay with it, though. He has a point. Of course he is. How does Troy know these things? Troy seems to think the truth is unbelievable. And once again, there's going to be a casualty. Once again, chat, you have to play God. And decide if we save Lionel, number 1, or save Troy, number 2. Okay, it looks like that the votes for Troy are going up, because it looks like that Troy is the one who can tell us what's going on, and you want to know what's going on. Troy does not think much about this plan, though. And Lionel begging for his life. How unseemly. Lionel seems to think that we care about what they do here. Oh, and before Troy can tell us the answers, the chat gets locked. So, you decided we're saving Troy. We're locking his door. Bye, Lionel. What does Troy have to say? He started the fire, he killed the guards, and yet he is the one chosen to live. Oh, twist. Yeah, he didn't kill the security guards either. I don't know what's going on. He still seems to think that there's something he knows that's unbelievable. Okay, he got the security code from us, which is how he was able to tell us what it was. Alright. So it looks like Troy's done this before. And it looks like that the exact same decisions were made before. He was then suddenly out in the desert. No, he was back in the fire sitting in his office. Time travel. People, time travel. So this keeps happening to Troy. He's in some kind of loop. 5 times so far. And Troy, this time around, was trying to break the loop. Trying to come up with a different outcome. Once again, however, he was the one to survive. Even when he was pretending that he was the one who started the fire and killed the security guards, he still was the only survivor. Troy says he's going to go back through the Tempest entrance. Well, goodbye, Troy, I guess. And that was the Troy end. As it says, the mystery is not yet solved. We must explore all possibilities to find the truth. So as you can see, the paths we took to get to the Troy end right there. And yes, it is pretty much VLR, as that's kind of how the branching paths work. So yeah, it's an interesting concept. However, we don't have to stick with that ending. We can go back to the beginning and see what else we can get. Yep, we know all about this. This is the same thing that happened last time. Okay, we make the same choice that we did before. Remember, number 1, it was save Steve. Number 2, it was save Troy. Knowing what we know now, would we do anything differently? I mean, we saved Troy last time because we felt that he knew something, and we know what he knows now. So is there a reason to Is there a reason to just keep him around? Looks like you're saying no. It looks like we need to save Steve this time and see what would happen. So, alright. Let's lock his door. Turn this water on. Turn water off. And that's it for Troy. He got what he wanted. So what now? So Steve, in an alternate timeline, is happy that he survived, that he was saved. Christina, however, is quite angry that Steve seems relieved about this. There seems to be some animosity between Christina and Steve. Steve does seem like kind of a dick, honestly. And now we find out a little bit about ourselves. We don't actually work for this company. Steve doesn't know what they do at this company either. I don't know how this company has so many employees that don't know what they do. I would assume Phoenix Corporation makes downs, but that's just a guess. I want to know about the cockatiels, Lionel. The cockatiels are the answer to everything. Of course that's what they were doing. If they bought enough cockatiels, eventually they'd find a phoenix. Duh! Why would you even need that explained to you? Yeah, we just store stuff here, not really. Don't do a whole lot. Yeah, I don't come to this building myself either. Hell if I know what my company does. Alright. Chat. Another moral decision. Number 1, to save Lionel. Number 2, to save Steve. So this is a choice, a new choice, one that we did not have in the first path because, well, Steve was dead by that point. Okay. You seem pretty decisive on what you want here. Steve is quite upset because he probably knows he's not going to survive this. Lionel making a formal request to us that we save him. Christina does not like that. Christina seems to think that Lionel is behind this for some reason. Alright, you made your choice, and you chose Lionel. Gonna lock his door, and let's see, yeah, we need... Let's see... No, we don't lock his door. What am I doing? Oh, I can't unlock it. So I guess now you see what happens if someone dies who's not supposed to. Yeah. Too many deaths, the computer says. Unacceptable. So it won't let us do that. We're going to lock this door. If you remember, this is where Troy was last time. So now that we're locked that, we can turn the water on. Mm-hmm. And again. And then turn it off. Oh, I didn't turn it off? Okay. So that's an example of someone dying by drowning. And then, yes, I should have locked that door. The challenge of no one has to die. Did I? Yeah, okay, I did that. Let's just kill everyone again. Just kill everyone all the time. Alright, let's lock the door. Turn the water on. 1 turn. 2 turns. Then, turn the water off. Okay. And goodbye, Steve. Lionel agrees that our decision to kill Steve due to being kind of a dick was the right one. Christina not responding to us. She's quite angry about this, though I don't know why. I mean, one of them had to die. We had to make a decision. It's not like it's morally better to save one over the other. Looks like we have to make another decision already. Oh, 2 casualties unavoidable. The computer says that both will die. Lionel does not question the computer. It must be right. Christina seems kind of psyched about it, though. And Lionel's cool. Yeah, it's alright. You couldn't have done anything about it. Christina is going down angry, though. Alright, it lets us do this, but there's nothing we can do. You see, we can't save Lionel because he has fire right next to him, and locking the door would not do anything. And we can't save Christina because the switches to the water are inaccessible, and there's no locked door in front of her, so there's nothing we can do for either of them. So they both have to die. Bad end. So I guess if we went in this path, we would not find out about the Tempest door. Yes, so far, yes, Sacrificial Toast, so far it is everyone has to die. What is this no one has to die business? That seems incorrect. It seems like everyone's dying. Okay, we'll just go from left to right, I suppose. So, last time we saved Steve. So this time, I suppose... Sorry, no, we didn't save Steve. We saved Lionel. We left Steve to die. So I suppose this time we should kill Lionel to see what happens, knowing that if we leave Steve to die, that means everyone dies anyway. So alright, let's lock his door. Turn on the water. Wait, no, what am I doing? That's the same thing I did last time. That's not what we have to do. I'm very good at killing these people, though, I have to say. I don't know why I seem to be so good at it. Let's lock Christina's door. And then she can turn on the water. And then, yes, this is why Lionel has to die. If we keep the water going, so it flows in front of Steve, it drowns Lionel. And we can turn off the water and save Steve. What does Christina and Steve think about that? Well, Christina's quite pleased with it. Steve is shocked about how happy Christina seems to be about this. Don't ask to explain the choices of the chat. The chat moves in mysterious ways. Steve and Christina still quite confrontational with each other. We don't know why Christina seems to be so upset. We really have not gotten any backstory for her. Hey, that's right. There are 2 dead bodies in this room with us. Alright, the blue file. We found that in Troy's end. Yep, okay, so we found out now that the security code that Troy gave us is the one that the security guard had. And if we did not save Troy before, we would not know the answer to any of these questions. These seem like lovely people. Alright, chat. You get to decide who we want to see live and die. 1 is save Christina, 2 is save Steve. Looks like Steve is willing to sacrifice himself to save Christina, though. And the sad music begins once again. Can we promise her, chat? It doesn't look like it, because it looks like you've decided that we're saving Christina. Okay, so to save Christina, we would need to... let's see. Oh, yeah. Well, looks like Steve is the one who would have to do it actively. So we can move him up there. There's fire. Move him up there. Turn the water on. Alright. Turn the water off. And there goes Steve. Sacrificing himself. That seemed to be more of Steve's decision than ours, really. You see, she's saying that we saved her. But that was Steve going up to the water switch and pulling it. I mean, we control that, but he was the one who would have had to do it. Christina. Saying that she lit the fire, not Troy. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is. Yep, no one really knows what's going on. Oh no! They sent her body back without her brain! What did they do with the brain? Oh, they cut it out so they could perform evil experiments on it. Christina, I'm so sorry. I literally don't know what to say about that. Okay, so they knew who Christina was, but they said, okay, sure. Yeah, we'll give you a job, alright. It's kind of weird all around, yeah. Another security file. It would have let us lock more doors. But we didn't have it, so people had to die. She found a big metal door. Oh, the Tempest entrance? What could that possibly be? And there goes Christina, going somewhere else in time. Though, of course, we didn't know about that. And that's the Christina end. As it says, the mystery is not yet solved. We still have a few areas to go before we get to the true ending, I suppose. However, it has been a half an hour, so let's take a few minutes break, and we'll be back, I guess, with the end, since it's not very long at all, with the end of No One Has to Die, which hasn't lived up to its name so far, because so far, everyone has had to die. Pretty much everyone, so far. So, we'll be right back with Everyone Has to Die. Be back in a few minutes.